How's it going, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to round 4 of Locals from April 10th. Final round. We have Zoodiac Dogmatica on the left versus Goki Infernoble Warrior Link. I really don't know what to call it. As I'm recording this, I still haven't really figured out a name for the title, but Warrior Link might be the one I go with, and it looks like we're going to see an Ash on that tanky. And that is actually going to do it for our Zoodiac Dogmatica player. Sometimes it really be like that. The normal summon is pretty important in this deck to get access to the Zoodiac monsters and the extra deck. And with that comes access to the Dogmatica cards, specifically Ecclesia, etc., etc. To at least end on some of the better boards. We're going to see him go into a Sold, and it is going to be met with an Impermanence. Sold continues to be a choke point for a lot of warrior strategies. I remember specifically playing the Infernoble deck for quite some time, and if the Sold ever got hit with anything, more so the second effect, if that ever got hit with something, it was really rough. But the Goki engine here might help him recover a little bit. Adding 2 copies of Rematch off of both of the Gokis that were linked off. I was probably hoping to maybe chain block the Assault, but of course Impermanence does not care about chain blocks. It also looks like he has a copy of Living Fossil here to follow up, bringing back the Octo Stretch and linking off the Assault and the Octo Stretch. We'll see what he goes into here. Looks like Draco Masters of the Tenyi. So maybe this is some sort of Infernoble strategy. And the only reason I say that is because you guys might have seen it on the channel. I did cover builds of Infernoble Knight that did not run Link Cross, Helka Fibrax, and I believe Auroradon. And it did actually use Draco Masters of the Tenyi because you did play an Ignite engine in there. And Draco Masters is great because of the amount of down arrows that it provides for pendulum summoning. But it looks like he's not going any further past that. He's going to swing in for 26, set 2, and pass it back to our Zoodiac player, where hopefully he'll have a play to make. And it looks like it's just going to be a T set, a classic T set. And that's going to do it for his turn. And now we'll see what our warrior player starts with. And there it is, Durendal. It's been a hot minute since I've seen Durendal. Just going to equip it to Draco Masters. And there's Ash Blossom. So Ash Blossom going to negate that, stopping him from getting a search of a Fire Warrior monster. We'll see what his next move is. Still has those 2 copies of Rematch in hand. But it doesn't look like they're really doing him any good right now, since I believe he only has 1 Goki in the grave, since the one he brought back was banished off a Living Fossil. Draco Masters will get in the battle phase and attack a set Ash Blossom. And that does it for our Warrior Link player's turn. Zoodiac drawing for turn here, checking back row. Passing turn. Not drawing into any engine cards. Now, it looks like our warrior player has drawn Phantom Knight's Cloak. So we do have a PK engine in here as well. Let's see what else he can do here. This is a pretty back and forth game state at the moment. Both players really don't have much of an engine going. Very simplified game state here. Looks like we do see Bardiche in the extra deck, so definitely some Phantom Knights in this deck. Yeah, it just looks like one giant warrior mashup. He'll get in for 26 with Draco Masters and pass it over. Next turn, if our Zoodiac player can't put anything on the board, it's probably going to be game. But he does find an Ecclesia. Pretty strong normal summon here. It looks like the normal summon is fine. Looks like he attempt to activate effect and Solemn Strike. One of the best traps of this format, in my opinion. I absolutely love Solemn Strike right now. Absolutely incredible card. It's basically just Gamma in trap form. But just even, I don't know. I don't know. I love Solemn Strike. I've been playing an Earth Machine for weeks now, and it's been incredible. Very high impact trap card. So he'll gladly pay that 15. He's going to normal summon the Suprex and This is definitely going to be game here if he does not have a response. We know he's on Dogmatica, so possibly having something like punishment set could easily stop, you know, it from being game here. Impermanent's not going to do anything. We'll see what he has in that back line here. It's got to be something, right? Or else, you know, most people probably would have scooped at this point, trying to save time, you know, heading into game 2. Draco gets in for 26, and Super X tries to swing in, and there's an Ice Dragon's Prison. Luckily, there is no, or has been no Lancia played this turn. He only has, I think, one Goki, or one card in the grave anyway, that's going to match the typing. So both copies of Super X now banished, and that does stop game. We'll see what else he does. He still has, you know, not a great hand. He's going to set the cloak. And, oh, realizing he's already normal summoned, I was going to say that looked a little strange. He's going to pass turn, and our Zoodiac Dogmatica player looks like he drew another Lancia for turn, which is extremely unfortunate. So as game 2 gets started, I do want to mention a quick shout out to Imperium Duelist. If you guys are shopping on their site, do not forget to use the discount code I have down in the description below. It's winner kills 10 off. Save 10% off your entire order at checkout on some amazing TCG accessories, binders, playmats, deck boxes, etc. And if you guys are shopping on TCG Player, please do not forget to use the affiliate link I have down in the description of all my videos. You guys shop and check out using those links. A small bit of the revenue from your purchase goes right back into the channel. So Zoodiac getting started with a very strong board here. No Ash on the tanky this time. And yeah, just getting started with the Trident and Hammer Kong. And we'll see if he has any. It looks like he does have Nadir Servant in hand. So yeah, this is just going to turn out to be an extremely strong board. Probably going to see 1, 2, 3 interruptions here, and whatever the other hand traps or back row he has in hand, of course, is just going to be bonus. So yeah, Nadir Servant is just a huge plus here. Getting him Ecclesia on board to add the Fleur-de-Lis, and then, or the punishment here actually, which would make more sense, and then the end phase to Titanic to get the Fleur-de-Lis for an extra non-targeting negation. Really solid board here. It's just unfortunate to see that the normal summon is so very, very fragile in the Zoodiac strategy. And then the thing that I personally hate the most about playing against Zoodiac is how after a certain point, it just becomes, can you get through 4 board wipes with a Zeus? Or 3, you know, three board wipe Zeus. Like, it's just so obnoxious sometimes. Because it seems like that's sometimes all the deck can do. But if you can stop the normal summon, you know, you shut off a great deal of things. And not really making it so they can't get to a normal summon, oftentimes letting them commit to the normal summon and then having a way to possibly like Torrential Tribute or strike the first Xyz does a quite, just quite a bit of damage to the strategy because you're turning off the normal summon to stop an Ecclesia normal summon. You're keeping Ecclesia off the board in general because there's no monster summon from the extra deck. And with that, you stop, Fleur-de-Lis and all that good stuff. So either way, a Soul does come down, and it is met with a Fleur-de-Lis, the Knighted. So very, very strong card to have here. And he still, of course, has a Trident pop, and still, of course, has Dogmatica Punishment set in the back line, and still a couple cards in hand. So we'll see where he is able to take this combo here, if there's going to be a combo at all. I mean, I would hope there's going to be somewhat of a combo because he's staring down a pretty solid board right now that we're probably going to see get even bigger on the next turn. We're probably going to see Zeus, Drill Driver, Vespinato, and it's just probably going to go all downhill from there. So he's got to try to clear as much off this field as he possibly can. I believe there's a Thorough Blade. No, I believe there's a Ram underneath the Trident. So it is currently able to negate trap effects that target it. He does have Book of Moon, which is really strong here. Book of Moon, an incredible card against the Zoodiac deck. And it looks like the Book of Moon is not going to be able to be activated on the Trident because of Hammer Kong. That's right, Hammer Kong does have built-in protection for Zoodiac monsters, so he's going to have no choice but to hit the fleur-de-lis with the Book of Moon, and he's going to try to get in the battle phase here on the Trident just to solely try to bait that effect. It does work, and then we're going to see a massive misplay here. This is definitely a hot cheat, something that cannot be done. Our Warrior Link player has already committed to a normal summon, which means he cannot activate Red Eyes Fusion. You cannot normal summon or special summon other monsters the turn you activate Red Eyes Fusion. So this has just been a big hot cheat. It's unfortunate our Zoodiac Dogmatica player has not caught this, because this is something that could very easily change the tide of the game. Being able to non-target destroy the Trident here and burn for the 500 that it has. And then destroying the set Fleur-de-Lis for at least another 2,500 there, dropping him down to 5k. That's very, very unfortunate that neither player saw this happen. Yeah, and just reading Hammer Kong's effect here says, while this card has Ixie Material, your opponent cannot target face-up Zoodiac monster on the field with card effects, except this one. So knowing that he couldn't book Trident because Hammer Kong was there, he must have just thought it'd be better to book the Fleur-de-Lis anyways. And so yeah, he's going to get Dragoon on board. He should not have Dragoon because of the stipulations of Red Eyes Fusion. But, you know, it is what it is. Here we are at this point anyways. And our Dogmatica player, our Zoodiac Dogmatica player, is going to find a tanky for turn, which is pretty good here, pretty busted. And speaking of busted, that reminds me of what I was saying earlier regarding to, you know, how dependent this Zoodiac Dogmatica deck is on its normal summon. Only so dependent unless they open that copy of Barrage, because then the deck becomes a little bit more robust. Because, you know, you could Ash the tanky, you could Torrential the normal summon of a any Zoodiac monsters, Thoroughblade, Ram, but then they have the Barrage to follow up, and then it's almost like obviously it never happened. So very, very strong card. I'm glad it's at 1, because this deck, like I said, is very frustrating to deal with sometimes. It's because the Zeus spam, which I think is what we're going to see here. A Fog Blade has been played on the summon of Borbo, which is a pretty good call, mainly because that Borbo will be able to attack directly because of its unactivated effect, and that will lead directly to a Zeus. But he's going to go into Chakanine as a plan B here, and he's going to bring back the Trident, and let's see if he'll go into a Tiger Mortar perhaps to reattach. Actually, doesn't need to. He's got the Whiptail in hand to just go ahead and quick attach to it. That Trident now at 1,400 and able to basically battle and banish whatever it attacks, so it does technically have an out here to the Dragoon. I mean, maybe not so much an out technically, but more so just a guaranteed way to bait out the Dragoon. Because all he needs to get to right now is get at least a Zoodiac monster, not even a Zoodiac monster, an Ixie's monster that has battled, or at least, you know, make it so there is an Ixie's monster on the field somewhere that has battled, so he can Ixie's change over top of one of his Ixie's monsters, a Zeus, and having that Tiger Mortar with as many materials as it does is going to be a perfect candidate for a Zeus summon. And looks like he is going to use the Whiptail effect, or at least that's what it seems. So our Warrior Link player was going to attempt to discard that Goki rematch to negate the activation of Whiptail, which basically would make it so whatever it attacks, it banishes. I'm not sure in what part of the battle phase, whether it's damage step or calc, but we'll see what happens here. I imagine this is going to be the perfect way to bait out the Dragoon effect here. It's either a use it or lose it type situation, and if you're the Warrior Link player, you really have no other option. I mean, you're losing your Dragoon technically either way. So yeah, he is going to negate the Whiptail, as we would expect, discarding a copy of Rematch, and let's see how many materials this Zeus is going to have. Still has that punishment set in the back line as well, which is going to prove to be super lethal. Because not only can he basically get essentially a pop 2 before he even needs to worry about using Zeus as a board wipe, potentially multiple times. I think right now it has 4 materials underneath it, if I'm seeing that correctly, or it might just have 3. But I imagine we're just going to see Zeus here. I don't really think there's Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it has 6 materials underneath it. And it looks like before he ends his turn, he's just going to actually just go ahead and Zeus. And that makes the most sense because you can't leave that Dragoon on the field for next turn. Because he'll just lose his Zeus in the process anyways, just because of the, you know, the non-targeting destruction effect that Dragoon has. Now, let's also remember the Dragoon should not have been summoned. But luckily, Zeus is, you know, an equally unfair card. And, I mean, I guess Nadir's Servant here as well. He actually, I guess, never ended his turn. For some reason, I thought he was going to end phase here, but still continuing to combo. And gonna play Nadir's Servant, pitching Drill Driver Vespinato for Nadir, which is an interesting target, summoning out Ecclesia. And Ecclesia going to search another punishment. Okay, so, yeah, just getting his punishment back that he basically just wiped, just to clear the Dragoon. So that makes sense. Obviously wanting to play Nadir after the fact, and looks like our Warrior Link player has top decked the Super Quantum Red layer, which would be good in a situation that just isn't this, and or it looked like Super Quantum Red layer, which if it was, he obviously cannot set that card. It's just level 5. He's going to special summon, or just normal summon or special summon a Dragoon. Was that Super Quantum Red layer? There's a bit of a glare on the graveyard, but I could have swore that was Super Quantum Red layer that he just set, which is a level 5. And it was Super Quantum Red layer. What on earth is happening here? I apologize for the amount of scuffed plays that are happening. But I mean, it's on both players at the end of the day. It's not just solely on the opponent who accidentally activated Red Eye's Fusion when he couldn't have. It's up to the other player as well that just didn't catch it. It's a very obvious thing. It happens all the time. You know, I get some people that after they play on camera, you know, and I understand some people might make mistakes on camera because they don't do it that often. Like, I understand that. It's a bit of a different scenario to play in. But some people are like, you know, hey, don't upload that, or maybe you shouldn't upload that one. You know, there's a lot of misplays, but it's like, well, that's the thing. That's the best way to learn from your mistakes, is have, you know, the comment section tear into you, or me on the post commentary, because I can see everything after the fact. That way you really can, you know, just realize the mistakes that you made so you don't make them again. That's the one thing I love about being able to consistently record the matches that I play, or having access to replays on something like Dueling Book, because I can go back and I can analyze all the plays that I made and be like, wow, why did I? Because sometimes you really don't see how absurd or stupid the plays you make are until you go back and watch them. And it does really help you to improve as a player. If you play a lot in Dueling Book and you don't watch your own replays, I highly recommend to do it, because you'll start to see some things that you just don't know you're really doing in the heat of the moment. And that's what a lot of this is at the end of the day. A lot of people, I mean, some people I'm sure know what they're doing is wrong, and it's also questionable because they know they're on camera, and at that point it's like, because I've literally had videos of people cheating on camera. It's been caught on my channel before. I think there's like a Psyframe versus Invoked Windwitch duel from many years ago where somebody was literally caught cheating on camera. And that was definitely a malicious thing. But, you know, some of these other things, it's like, they know they're on camera, so why would they openly cheat, right, if they know they're on camera? So, but sometimes, most of the times, they're just, you know, in the heat of the moment, honest mistakes. And obviously it is on both players at the end of the day, but, you know, hopefully they'll see this and be like, wow, I can't believe I did that. Hopefully I won't do it again. So Nibiru is dropped midway through, and if there's one thing Assault combos hate, and it's definitely Nibiru, and there's one thing that Goki Rematch hates, it's also DD Crow, but it looks like he's got Solemn Strike, another Rematch. It seems like Rematch is glued to this man's hand, but it's not really, doesn't mean having a card like Rematch would normally not seem like a bad thing, but after the first one gets stuffed with a DD Crow, the second one's not probably looking too good. So you're going to set a Solemn Strike, and he looks like he has Red Eyes Black Dragon in hand as well, which is extremely unfortunate. But hopefully we won't see a Red Eyes Fusion get activated here. That would be double unfortunate. And it looks like our Zoodiac Dogmatic player has double Cosmic in hand, which is huge. So, I mean, yeah, obviously no reason not to just start with the Cosmic Cyclone here. Quickest 1,000 life points you'll ever pay. And he'll set another one. And it looks like he has a Zoo and a Fleur in hand. And he, unless I'm seeing it wrong, I didn't normal summon the Zoodiac, which seems a bit strange. He's going to go into another Isolde. And Isolde is going to activate its effect, and it's going to go through because the other set is a Cosmic, as we know. And I just be curious to look at the Zoo Dogmatic player's hand here, because I'm pretty sure I saw a Zoo and a Fleur. The Fleur obviously not going to do too much right now other than just kind of block for damage. Also, one thing I want to mention while we're here, before this match is over, if you guys haven't already, on the community tab, there should be a poll up for who you guys think is going to win this match. Obviously, I'm going to post that. I posted that poll before the video went live. So if you guys want, you can go check out that poll to see who, what people thought was going to win this particular matchup. And maybe you voted in that poll earlier. Were you correct? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys thought and, who you thought was going to take this match. And maybe some of your reasonings why. But yeah, I figure that's going to be something I'm going to start doing from now on is, taking polls beforehand of, of the upcoming feature match of the day just to see what people think is going to end up winning. Because a lot of times I see when I make posts of upcoming videos, and especially duel videos, people always be saying like, oh, it's a win 100% for insert deck here, but then it ends up going the complete opposite way, which is very interesting to see what people think. But we're going to see a Borrelsword here. And Borrelsword is scary, definitely, especially with a giant 3k monster in attack position on his opponent's side of the field. Now, can he just get a 2,500 body monster on field that he can switch to defense? Because if so, that is going to be game, but he's got the next best thing, and it is a Goki rematch, bringing back Headbat and a copy of Suprex. So we'll see what he's going to do with these two cards. Looks like we're going to see a Link 2, and I don't imagine it's going to be an Isolde. And it looks like it's going to be Codebreaker Virus Swordman. Been seeing a lot of this Codebreaker stuff being splashed into these warrior decks. It says 2 effect monsters when this card is special summoned. If it is co-linked, you can special summon 1 Codebreaker 0 day from your hand, deck, or graveyard to any link zone, or to any zone a link monster points to. So you're going to summon that out to the left, its left arrow, or the arrow that Borrelsword is pointing to. And it looks like he's going to link those, perhaps. Codebreaker Day 0 does have 1,800 attack. And that other link has 2,300. I wonder that... No, that wouldn't be actually game right there with those now, would it? Okay, it looks like he's just going to link into Nightmare Unicorn, discarding Phoenix Blade, and spinning the back row back. So, as it stands, this is not going to be game. He's going to hit for 3k over the Nibiru, and then for 22. So, only hitting for 5,200 damage here, which is definitely short of game. Now, if he would have done it the other way, where he wouldn't have spun the back row and just, maybe just tried to go for game outright, been 3k, and then 23, then 18, and then Borrelsword effect to attack again at 45. So, yeah, definitely missed game there. But, hindsight's 2020. We know what the back row was. He didn't, so, definitely played it safe there, but he did have a way to OTK, and our Zoodiac player is probably very grateful he did not get greedy. And now he's going to have a follow-up with Alpha Master of Beasts, which is huge right here. To be honest, the only threat really is Borrelsword. And it looks like he did have a Zoo monster in hand. Yeah, it did look like he had Thoroughblade. And the other hand, other card in his hand, I'm assuming, is Fleur-de-Lis. So I still don't know why he didn't at least normal summon that Thoroughblade to maybe at least try to establish a Dryden. I still am not sure. So it looks like we're going to see a battle phase here. Alpha Master Beast is getting over top the Nightmare Unicorn. Borbo tries to swing in directly at 16. Borrelsword says no. And then main phase 2, we're going to see Alpha bounce back Borrelsword and itself. But an Ixies monster, regardless, still has battled. So he's, what that means. Big Zeus is coming. Time to just slap a billion materials on it, or go for just Dryden. 1 pop versus 3 potential board wipes. We'll see. So he top decks a Super X, or at least it looks like he did. Still has a Fog Blade in hand, and still has that Red Eyes Black Dragon. And our Zoodogma player has a Fleur-de-Lis in hand, and what looks to be a Ram, at least from what I could see. So if he in fact did have a Zoo in hand that one turn, I still don't know why he just passed. I don't know. So he's going to normal summon the Super X. Attempt to bait out the Dryden here. It does work. Now the pop effect has been used. Going to get that effect of Super X in the grave to add a Goki. And Goki card, I believe. But it looks like he's just going to add the Twist Cobra. Which, to be honest, I have no idea what it does. He's going to set Fog Blade. And, of course, that's going to do it first turn. And our Zoodogmatica player not playing around the Imperm there. Playing that tanky right in the same column as that set card. Grabs a Ram. Normal summons Ram, which is actually just going to be huge here against Fog Blade. Since, you know, any Ixies monster that is originally Beast Warrior that has Ram as material, basically when a trap effect is activated that would target, I believe, a Zoodiac monster, you can detach and negate that effect and destroy it, I believe. I know Ram is very, very good against traps. So very, very solid card to have here. Very convenient to have against this Fog Blade. We'll see Chakanine bring back the Tiger Mortar. This opponent looks like he may have had a response, but he does not ultimately. And now he's just going to go into Borbo, go into Drill Driver Vespinato. Basically like Gaia Charger, but for rank 4s. And we'll see what is going to happen now. Yeah, just going to the battle phase, swinging for 25. And just a little bit of damage from the Borbo. Since I believe it still does have Ram as material. So yeah, only swinging for 500 there. So a total of 3k between Vespinato and Borbo. Leaving the Dryden in defense and going for a just 1 wipe Zeus. Only having 3 materials underneath it. And let's see what our Warrior Link player is going to do. Summons the Twist Cobra. I don't know really what this card is going to do here against this board, but Dryden's going to fire off and hit it immediately. And it looks like he will get Twist Cobra's effect. Probably just going to search a Goki card. It looks like no targets left in the deck here. Has Fire Flint Lady in hand as well. Fog Blade in hand, Red Eyes Black Dragon. I mean, what do you do with those cards? Nothing. So it looks like that's going to do it for his turn. Our Zoodiac player wasting no time here, summoning Fleur-de-Lis to the field. And attempting to go to battle phase, not even needing to put Dryden into attack. Now, an illegal play happens here as well. Zeus cannot negate that Fog Blade there with the Ram, since Zeus is not a Beast Warrior Xyz. But ultimately, I don't think it would have mattered regardless. Yeah, so Zoodogma taking that match 2-1 versus Warrior Link. That one was a little scuffed, I will admit, but hey, we got through it, and hopefully we learned a thing or two in the process. So yeah, that is going to wrap it up for April 10th's locals. And next week's locals coming up very, very soon. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. I hope you guys have been enjoying the feature matches. I love putting them together for you guys. I love doing post commentary. Always have. Some of my favorite videos to make to this day. And yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. We recently just hit 20,000 subscribers, so I can't thank you guys enough for that. And yeah, hope you guys are having a good one. As always, Winner Kills signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one. And of course, a special thanks goes to all the YouTube members supporting this channel, and a special thanks goes to the Divine Level channel members supporting this channel, and they are Zors and Chadillacs84. Thank you guys so much for your continued and very generous support of the channel.